This is the start of Loop 1, Calhoun Falls State Park. I think we'll only get halfway through before the sun sets, and we'll do the rest tomorrow. This is a biking tour, and as long as the campsite's empty, I'll pull in it and try and give you as good a view as possible. If it's occupied, obviously, I'm not going to ride into it. Site 1 is our campground host. It's a pull-through. Nice outdoor living area. All the outdoor living areas are sand unless they're handicapped. And a very nice space. Now, unlike some state parks, the campground hosts do not have sewer. This is site number 2. It's a handicap site. One of the children's playgrounds is right next to it. The bathhouse is right there, also very close. The outdoor living area is concrete with a concrete walk to the bathhouse. This is a fairly small site, fairly level, easy back in, very accessible. And other than the playground, very isolated. Space 3 is a pull-through, but as you can see from the direction of the truck and a trailer, pulling through with a long trailer would be very complicated and is in lots of spaces here, but you could back in. It has a nice outdoor living area at the same elevation as the road. It's a nice space. Space 4 is a back in. Easy back into it. Fairly short site, but big enough for just about anything that you might want to put in it. Not a lot of room for a tent in the outdoor living area. But probably room for a camper, a tow vehicle, maybe even another vehicle with a boat. Space 5 is a long back-end space. Nice outdoor living, nice flat, wide open, large space. Space 6 is a pull-through. Now this one you could probably pull in with a fairly long camper and stop with the front at the outdoor living area. That's of an acceptable size, but you'd be hard-pressed to make the turn with anything big, and then you've got this steep hill. Space 7, back in the woods, nice and private. These are very private spaces. Unlike some of the state parks, there's plenty of room between the spaces, so these are very nice. This is a fairly deep, flat space. Outdoor living is very small, but fine with a camper. Not much for a tent. Space 8, another pull-through. Not very flat. You probably need a fairly short camper to get in here just to have room to get it level. Nice outdoor living area. I'm starting to get a little bit of a view of the lake. Not much, but a little bit. But a very steep drop off at the bottom, which makes it difficult for big campers. Space 9 is a back in. Nice long back end space. Another private space open to the field, which is where they have the cook-offs every year. Again, small outdoor living area. A large canopy would just about cover the whole thing. And the other children's playground is down below, not far. And down the hill to space number 10, a back-end space. Nice long back-end space. Much nicer outdoor living area than the first few we've seen. Much bigger, and a nice set of steps that lead you down towards the lake, so you're starting to get a view of the lake and much better lake access. Space 11, a short back in, probably 25 to 30 feet of flat, and a decent outdoor living area. Space 12 is a back-end space. This is starting to get a really nice view of the lake. This drainage ditch could create problems for hitching and unhitching depending on the length of your trailer, but nice flat spot. Nice outdoor living. The stairs go off the backside of the outdoor living and go down to the lake. So again, good lake access and a nice view of the lake through the woods. One flaw to this space. It could be a big flaw with a larger trailer. That's this pine tree right on the corner. Could make it very difficult to get backed in if you're not a proficient backer. Space 13. Another pull through. Very tight little corner to get in, but you could back in from the other side, and if nobody's in space 14, it would make it much easier to get in. Nice outdoor, large outdoor living area, nice view of the lake. Space 14, another large pull through, nice big outdoor living area. And it looks like these guys backed in, because getting around that corner is tough. 15, another pull through. This one looks like it'd be a little easier to get in with a bigger camper, but getting centered is still kind of hard to do in the turns. Nice outdoor living, a really nice view of the lake, nice beach area, very nice space. The bathhouse is across the street. Let's see, and we skipped. What number did we skip? We skipped 16. 16 is on the inside of the loop. Nice wide back end space, nice outdoor living. Not much for a tent, but great space for folks with a camper. And a little bit of a view of the lake through the other campsites. But a nice long space, plenty of room to put an extra vehicle. And again, the bathhouse is right here. And then we pick up a short outside loop, and we'll probably quit at that point. Oh, some nice lady walking to the bathhouse. Space 17 is a nice back in. Nice flat spot. Nice living area. Not much of a view of the lake. Space 18 has a beautiful view of the lake, nice and open. It's a fairly small space, but nice view, nice big outdoor living area, and right on the water. Space 19 is a back in. Nice view of the lake, kind of all around. And this one has a problem that happens in several of the spots back here on this little peninsula, and that is this drainage ditch between the driveway and the outdoor living area. Depending on where you set your camper, you walk down the steps and step into the ditch. Good place to turn your ankle. Not very convenient. I'll show you what we did with our space to avoid that in just a minute. But other than the ditch, it's a very nice space. And pretty easy, even though it's a tight turn right here, it's a nice easy back in from the long straight right outside. Let's see, in space 20, another straight back in, nice size, nice outdoor living, nice view of the lake. The drainage ditch isn't quite so big in that space. Space 21 is a nice deep large space, obviously, since they've got a large fifth wheel and a boat trailer and 2 vehicles. Nice outdoor living, nice view of the lake, and a boat in the water. Space 22, another very nice view of the lake. Nice outdoor living space, nice view of the lake. I'm going to cheat and pull in here since this one's actually our space, and you can see what we have had to do to miss the drainage ditch. We've actually kind of catty-cornered the camper in so that the steps are outside. It means we've wasted a lot of space in the campsite. And you can see we have pulled way off center of the campsite and lost all of our driveway, but that kept us out of the drainage ditch. Space 23 is a pull through. We had a neighbor who tried to pull in here 2 days ago, and despite his best efforts, could not get centered in his campsite. Even though he drove through this ditch and up, you can see his tire marks out into the sand, he still could not get in the space in a comfortable position, so he went and found another campsite. And these are very tight spaces for pull-throughs. And they're very isolated, but they are tight spaces. Space 24 is a back in. Nice big open space, big outdoor living area, nice view through the woods of the lake, working on a very nice sunset. And I think for today I'm going to quit and go enjoy the sunset. Alright, time for a continuation of loop 1. Our last campsite was 24. Campsite 25, pull through. Nice view of the lake. Nice outdoor living area. Might be a little bit easier to get in with a decent sized camper. You can see where somebody has driven out into the living area to try and make the turn. But fairly open, easy turn. Space 26 is a handicap back in right next to the bathhouse in a concreted living area. Not too good for tents, but very good for campers. Decent sized flat area, not a lot of driveway and a fairly steep driveway. Space 27 is another pull through, another wide open beautiful view of the lake. Fairly small living area, very sharp turn. But enough room you could probably back a decent camper down the driveway instead of pulling through. 28 is another pull through. Again, very tight. Nice large living area. Another beautiful view of the lake. Nice quiet cove. This one would be a little harder to back into. It's a nice long straight drive coming down and then a sharp turn at the bottom. I'll turn around and look at it from the other direction. So to back in would still be hard to do. Space 29. No, we're still looking at 28, but space 29 is a fairly small, short driveway, fairly small living area. Space 30 is a pull through. Again, ideal for a small camper. Nice long driveway, but not much of a space to set a camper. Fairly small living area. Still a nice view of the lake. .32. Very small living area. Fairly short campsite or driveway. Not too steep, but several people apparently have tried to back big campers in and managed to scrape pretty hard. I would think if a camper was big enough to fit, it wouldn't scrape, but apparently that's not the case. Space 33, a back in, still on the inner loop, fairly flat, much nicer outdoor living area. Fairly short driveway, but wide open at the bottom. Plenty of room for 2 vehicles wide if you were bringing extra vehicles. 34 is a back in, kind of down in a hole. A little complicated for longer campers. Nice outdoor living area. Still nice view of the lake. One drawback to this one is that green box right there. And I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but it's humming very nicely. That would get a little old. Again, steep driveway down in. Space 35. Nice big outdoor living area. Still a view of the lake. Tiny little camper in the space. I think there's enough room, especially in the dirt around the driveway, that you could get something bigger, a whole lot bigger than that in there. But that's the last spot on the lake. 36 is a pull through. The trees on the side make it a little bit tight, but I think you could get a larger camper into this spot. Nice outdoor living area. I think you could actually pull through with a larger camper. Space 38, a back in with a large outdoor living area, fairly steep drive down in. A nice flat area in the bottom. Not sure what happens when it rains. It looks like they might have a little bit of a water problem in this one. And I guess that was space 37. So this would be 38. Nice pull through, big open living area. The first half of the driveway is not bad. The second half's kind of a steep turn, or sharp turn, and a steep driveway. The bathhouse is right across the street. Now we'll come back and look at 39, which is a back in. Downhill in. Nice living area. You know, I would worry if I had a tent and it was going to rain. But a decent sized area to put a camper. Nice looking bathhouse. Space 40 is a pull through. Down a nice hill and in. And again, a sharp turn when you get to the bottom. Fairly small living area. And that tree right there kind of gets in the way with making a wide turn to bring a big camper in. You can see where people have tracked trying to get around it, but with a longer camper that would be a really tough one. I have not looked to see what the size limits for these spaces are. I assume the Park Service gives you pretty good numbers, and fairly accurate numbers anyway. Space 41 is a back in. A few gouges in the driveway make me think somebody's had something in here bigger than they needed to. Nice outdoor living area. Flat spot, but it's a steep driveway to get in. And this one is right next to the walking trail. The nature trail that's 1.7 miles. And it's a nice trail. The steps are getting a little rotten. The bridges could stand to be replaced as well, but it's a nice trail. And that concludes loop 1.